Hey you guys, what a day. Gold is up a lot, silver's up a lot, platinum, palladium, all that good stuff. But for this video here, we're gonna look at actually, you did have a lot of good responses to the top 3 uranium and gold and silver thread that I did or post. And the next time I want to be a bit more clear. The idea was to have and many people did that also, so that's good. But again, your top 3 holdings in gold and silver, top 3 holdings in uranium, and top 3 holdings in platinum, palladium, rhodium. So we get like 9 stocks. But again, it's totally fine because we did get a good list. I went through them all and kind of like counted, which one is, which stocks do you have most in this community, you can say. And from what I can see, and again, if you've taken the entries that we talked about, you've done really well. And I actually own, I think, 80% of these as well, maybe even 90. So it's good to see that you have the same that I also have, because then I can track, what the gains and all that, So that is really cool. We will do that now. But first, just a tight update reminder / thing here. We have two chart posts going on, or threads for the week. One is just for, called charts and chats. That is where you can also just show your charts, type, stuff, have a conversation back and forth. And then there is the use link only. And again here, this is where I post the setups that I see, and where you, but this is not a post where you should comment on it. You could do the emotes, that's fine. But again, don't do the comments there. So I want this only to be me, and then you can go in and see for the week. Maybe we have like 5 trades or 5 good stocks or setups, and then you can see them like a still frame picture, and you can most likely find them in the videos also during the week. So I just want to have this one here, BVA, right? I'm going to explain, boom, 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 and then you can see it here. So we, again, over the week it will be more and more and more, and then we go to the next week. So you have like a very squeezed summary of each stock that we think looks good at a certain level. So again, please don't type here. It, again, no harm, but just to let you know. That's a long intro. Normally we just get straight into business here. This is the list. VRN is not on the list, but we're removing some of the tickers from the videos list that we have, and I just wanted to show you the VRN, a stock that personally I bought on the breakout there, and now we're actually breaking, and this is a huge one. Have we run too much short term? Maybe, but again here now we're actually breaking, at least trying to, the 20-year wedge, right? And we took that entry there. I want to show you again. The long call was made above $2 here for the New York Stock Exchange. No, the Canadian ticker here. 2 Canadian, that was the entry, and now we are at basically 3, so up 50% in 5 weeks. Lovely. I did go in a little bit early, cheated a little bit, gained 5%. Again, maybe I shouldn't have done that, but it worked out. I couldn't help myself. But what is happening now? Again, we're breaking here. Do I think, are we breaking, or are my lines messed up? Yeah, they are messed up. We can't have that. So I will change my intro to the stock here. We're actually hitting resistance now, right? The upper trend line here and the lower wedge here. So we are now hitting resistance. Actually today, you can see we're hitting that, boom. I expect from that trend line to see some sort of selling here, right? Some sort of pausing here. If that happens, I'm again, okay, it is resistance. So not there from the technical point of view. If we get a little pushback here and then break, cool. It is what it is, right? We don't really care because we're actually targeting from this little uptrend here, flag breakout. This one could go to 15. So I'm not gonna play it cute here and try to sell in order to catch like 25%, sell, then it drops like 20% and then buy back. I will not do that. I will just sit tight and actually do nothing, because when this whole thing here breaks, these are the targets. And also here, of course, we'll have a bit of a pit stop at the all-time high. Very standard stuff. And if we want to be really greedy, which today I think we can do, one way to measure a wedge and the breakout, if it is a sideways, is that you take the first impulse, the lows to the highs, and then you add that to the breakout point. Again, do we get such a move? That would be awesome, right? Let's see. Again, it sounds insane to say we're going to go to 69 or 67 here. But again, that is the potential move that we get. So we shall see. And that's why I'm not selling anything here, because I know we're going to see higher prices in this stock here. So lovely. And remember, if we get a bull flag here, if we get some sort of consolidation, that's the ticket in, right? The tag, the flag, the break, stop below, easy game. So, but that one was not on the list. Here we have abracadabra. Again, personally, I will let you, again, you know, I took the long at $2 and we didn't do anything. Well, we did, but again, it was mostly sideways for basically a year. And now finally we are breaking out, and it looks gorgeous on the uptrend. Red trend line broken here, back testing twice, rally. We just let it sit and do nothing. Do we have a shorter term uptrend going on here? I think we do. Yeah, maybe we do. But again, I'm just going to leave it, but I'm not going to respect, you know, it's there for now. Let's see. Overall, again, I'm really happy with the views, and yeah, this one should go higher. It has been strong way before most of the stuff broke out. So again, keep your winners. CDE was also a good pick, or at least a stock that you had. Again, if you took the long there at $8 and then later and or $10, we're now sitting at 20. So it doesn't matter if you took the $8 or the $10. Doing great. Again, am I getting, again, short term a little worried here? Yeah, but again, we are breaking some long-term patterns, right? And again, if we do the same technique by taking the back of that and add that to the breakout point, I mean, you can see here 70 and the highs up here doesn't look too shabby, doesn't it? So again, here, I'm not going to try to trade it. Again, if we get like a 1-2 month consolidation pullback, cool, whatever. Again, we are breaking a 30-year downtrend here. So again, I'm not going to sell it after just basically a few months here of breaking out. Right, I'm not going to do that. So again, CDE here looks amazing. Again, you should never buy it here. Do not buy it here. But again, whatever we can get, any consolidation is a buy. We are in a massive bull trend. And we will, of course, notify you guys whenever we get a reason to get in, right? Because don't just splash around with the money. You have to get a reason to get in, right? Momentum-wise, we still have a little bit more to go until we reach the peaks up here. But yeah, let's see. Again, if silver breaks 50 and just goes, I mean, these stocks, they will smoke everything. So SVM here, one of the really good lookings also, and that is, again, we bought it here, that break there, the internal blue, remember, we bought that at roughly 5.3 5.4 with the expectations of going to the red and then back test and then go. Clearly we cut straight through, boom. So that is, again, of course it can happen, but our expectations is almost always we break on the 4th. So, but yeah, we're definitely in a massive uptrend for SVM here. Look at the yellow. Beautiful. Uptrend here. And again, we have now broken the downtrend here. That was a lot of, pressure. We're now above. Again, could we back test, bull flag, all that good stuff? Yeah. But again, don't mess around with it. Let it be. You've gotten the entry correct, in my view. Let it sit. And let's see if we can reach the upper yellow. Right, we have 4 here. Boom, boom. Right, if we can get to the upper yellow, what a monster that is. Of course, there will be, resistance at these highs here. Yes. Well, not of course, but again, we expect it. Again, people taking profit at these highs and the same at all-time highs. Yes. So again, if you want to be risk-free, almost risk-free, you can take half off here again, or sell. Again, you just expect that that this uptrend here is not going to continue forever, right? It's not going to just go. I would like to, but that would be almost like a first. AG, one that I actually don't own. I mean, you can't buy it all, can you? This one I do not own. But again, we called it here. Or do I own it? No, I don't own it. But I have to get back to you on that. That one there, anyways, the breakout was roughly 7.6, right across that wedge. And then we said we target all-time highs. Reasons, major high or lows. So we expect it to hit, right, with a flat top, and then you break out at some point in time for AG. But the first big target is definitely these triangle highs and the highs back in 2011. But also we have a bit of I like to call them waterfall levels, where things just go completely south or to the upside. In this case, complete puke, and we went in a really bearish, 2-3 years there. So that is resistance. It will grind through. It just, we just need to see how it does it. But again, here, for me personally, in the gold and silver space, I am playing the longer game, because I think the gold to silver ratio is going to come down a lot, and therefore the mining sector is going to go up a lot, way more than silver. More volatile, absolutely, but again, the lower we go in the ratio to gold and silver, the better for the miners. That is just my view on things, and for now, it's been somewhat correct. Now we switch to the UU, one that initially we had this wedge here, right? We broke down, we came back in, and then we broke down again. That was a moment where, I really questioned it, the thesis for this stock here, because we broke such big uptrends. But then all of a sudden here at roughly 3, we've gone straight up. We've gone up 500%, even more since March. That is half a year. Again, we don't try to call the top, even though that is, again, momentum-wise, we did hit a pretty big top there. But the measured move still points to roughly 60, right? Maybe the highs from the triangle at 80. So I'm still very much in love with this thesis that we're going to hit the red there at some point in time. Again, we could get stuff like that, of course. But yeah, that is how I see UU. And so the long-term play here, to me, looks really good still. I'm not gonna change a whole lot at this moment, right? At this moment, Elevate. Many people own the Elevate, and I would like to for you to put down the comment below for how long you've held it, or if you took that little sweet spot that we talked about, roughly 0.33, 0.35 or so, where we broke like a triple resistance, short-term, mid-term, ultra long-term. Again, this is my view. So again here, if you're long Elevate, we need to see a lot of bad things in the chart before we are gonna say, maybe it's not time. Because this to me is, again, I said it before, like a hidden gem. And I think we could trade way higher without many people noticing this one here. So yeah, I wouldn't change a thing. We've just broken out, and the long was made 2 weeks ago, roughly, at 0.35. And now we are basically at 0.5, so that is 30% in no time. Again, could we back test? Yeah, could we? Absolutely. But until we start to see some really big technical damage, these trend lines here, again, don't overthink things, and the daily noise and all that doesn't matter. Stage 2 uptrend, right? Higher highs and higher lows. Right. Denison, I have a big holding in Denison. Bought everything here, haven't sold. Painful. But again, now we're again bought at roughly 0.6. I bought the Canadian one, so I can't remember the number for that. But now we are at almost 3. And yeah, this was a bit of a mess, right? These past 3 years, that's a mess. And even that move is a bit of a, I wouldn't say mess, but again, the volatility is crazy. And it's not respecting a whole lot here. But yeah, I'm fully expecting this high to get hit at roughly 4.4-ish up here, depending on how we get there, of course, but I'm expecting that. And we are basically sitting at 15-year highs above these two highs here, so I wouldn't change much. Have we broken a channel here? I think we have, right? Yeah, right, that one there, breaking to the upside. So again, Denison here, nice holding, don't do a whole lot. This one has been extremely tricky, and I don't think we've had like a long call, have we? I don't think so. Yeah, we had one, but again, that was back here in August 2023. That is before the Substack. So actually, we didn't have it on the Substack, but that was a long call on Twitter anyway. But we did do a complete return move all the way down there. So Denison has been really tricky, and yeah, but sitting at 15-year highs, that is pretty darn cool. But kind of a messy chart, you know, basically for the past 3 years. Mega uranium, oof, I have a maybe too big of a holding in this small stock here, but I really do like the setup here, and this one could be one of those, you know, mega stocks that is looking really good. It does now, you know, the big downtrend here and also here back in early 2024. I'm saying this is go time. We broke the ceiling. Let's go. Massive fakey. Let's do, again, you can see the fake here, right? Massive fakey, bear flag, bear pennant, tagging. Oh, that is nasty. But then we said, if we can remove it all here so we don't have to see all my very bad circles. I have sound, yeah, good. Otherwise I would break down a wall. That break there, right, on the way down there, roughly 0.32. And this kind of ceiling that we made here, basically for the entire 2025. That was the long call, right? And now we're sitting above that ceiling once again. Again, I think we are very early in mega uranium. If we can start to get away from that 0.42, 0.44 level, right? Then we can actually take the entire range, the height from this one, and add it on the top, and we get, you know, 2.4 to maybe 3.3 here, right, depending on how you measure. But again, $3 or something, right, Canadian. So I think we were very early. I think we're very, very early in this small stock here. This stock here, if it goes to there, will be $1 billion market cap company. So again, mega uranium, early stuff, early stuff. NXE, many people have been holding NXE. I have been holding it, but I sold the break there, you know, roughly 7.6 here, give or take. And then I got a little bit of FOMO here, double top, collapse, and now we're sitting on top there. So I don't think I will buy into NXE personally, but again, it doesn't mean that it doesn't look good, right? Because if we remove all this little clutter here in the middle, right, look at that. So we're basically now sitting on top of these highs here, trying to hold, right? The 30 weekly is coming up nicely. I'm expecting it to hold to some degree. Right? Maybe we hold here 100% and then go to 11.5. But again, if we can break that one there, then you go parabolic, right? So NXE looks really good, yeah. Ideally we hold. Again, you can see this is also a stock that were pretty precise until we did this stuff here, right? So again, could we get like a head and shoulder? Absolutely, we could do that. But that bullish move there, taking out everything here basically, that is a sign that the bulls are in control. But we might stall here just a little bit. But ultimately, I think we're going to go higher. SPSW, many had the SBSW, Sibania Stillwater, and again, I would like to know when you bought it, because again, we said here roughly we said actually we want to take the high there, so 5.2, and we're sitting at 10 now, so that is 100% gain. And also, yeah, we had a little bull flag here, really nice to see. I will say this though, these clusters here, where we are now, I think that is resistance for some time. But ultimately, the target that we have had is just roughly 20, maybe a bit lower. It's going to be hit in my view. So again, you can take all off there if you want to and say that is a massive trade from 5 to 20, lovely. Take half off, that's also fine. I would take some profit there though. Again, I think it's a good spot to do so because we could stall for like half a year to a year maybe. Again, I don't know what's going to happen, but this is big resistance, and if we just have this uptrend here, right, I think it's fair to say we might get a little pullback there, and then we break later on, right, then you can buy again. But take some profit there, roughly 19-20 bucks on SBSW. I think it's a healthy thing to do, and no one can blame you for taking that entry and that exit. That's good. PLG, everyone basically, not everyone, but many people had the PLG. It's a fan favorite, even though it has actually been underperforming compared to others like IMPUY and these guys and SBSW. It has been underperforming, but finally we said a few weeks ago, anything close to $2 here, that's the entry, right? Now we're sitting at 3, so we're up 50%, and we target this stuff up here, right? If we break the blue and the white later on, mega bullish on PLG. Again, if you're long here, I wouldn't change anything. Stage 2 uptrend on the weekly, higher highs and higher lows, breaking downtrend long term, short term, mid-term, short term. Mid-term is more likely. And again, I think these highs here is going to be hit. So I think we're going to go to 5.7 here initially. And of course, if you then start to break this kind of, flat basing here, I mean, that is when the good stuff happens. So again, I wouldn't change it. It's a volatile stock. It's but I would personally, where I think platinum is going, I wouldn't change a whole lot. I wouldn't do anything here, even though we might get a little pause here. The only thing that you could do, I wouldn't be totally out, to be honest. Again, you can take 50% off there if you want to, at roughly 5.5 or so. But with the entry at 5.5, you're basically risk-free from that point on. So that is really good. But ultimately, I think this kind of basing here for the past 7 years, whatever you want to call that, is going to go higher, and we could see some really, really big moves coming out from PLG. Again, I think platinum is going to go to 5-10,000 in 5 years' time. So PLG should do fairly well. U.UN, many people are holding the U.UN, which I think is good. It's a good thing to have that kind of like to volatility wise, not to be so insane that like the uranium stocks. And yeah, we talked about it. Anything north of 26 here looks amazing. We've talked about it many times, so we're not going to go into a whole lot of detail. And you can see now what it is trying to do. It is trying to reclaim the uptrend, right? One backtest here almost, and now it's trying again. And also 26 was a big level. You can also see here going across that 28.3 is also a big level. It might even be a bigger level in terms of momentum, right? It might even be bigger. So again, if you're not in here at 26, and if we start to break here over the next basically October, north of 28.5, 28.7, that is also a mega place to add, or take your first position in U.UN, which is basically the spot price of uranium. Getting back in, right, opens the door to a tag of this one here, in 2026 we could go to 60, right? It's a good exposure. I like that. So there it is. And I think these are really good names overall, really good names. You know, just by looking at them, I have every chart in my, you know, in my mind. So when I saw the list, when I was plugging it in here to the trading view, I'm like, this is a pretty damn, excuse me, it's a pretty good list overall to see that you are holding this stuff here. Again, there were many more, but again, these were the kind of like the ones that I saw standing out the most going down. But yeah, basically, really good mix, guys. This should do very well, especially, again, the entries that we have made on all these, for now at least, has been really good. Again, the risk reward, that is what we're looking at. So I have nothing more. I'm a bit tired, but I'm gonna do another video. I have the subchart request, which I have been lagging for you guys, and that is slacking, you know, that is totally on me. So I will do that now, but I have to do the list first. So it will take some time, but it's fine. It's totally fine. Have an amazing day. Stay safe.